All right, what's up, guys? Real quick, I wanted to go over the install of the M4 exhaust system. I put it in a video just so y'all could hear how it sounds, but I wanted to show y'all what you actually have to do to get the old exhaust off. So, without further ado. All right, let's get right at it. So, to be able to install this exhaust, you have to remove the stock exhaust and the muffler box behind the stock exhaust. Now, here's what they look like. They're both, probably like 10 pounds each. They're super heavy. Like, my bike feels a lot lighter ever since I took them off. But the main thing you need to know is there's a little servo computer. This servo is what controls that factory exhaust, all right? So you need to take this off. So I'm gonna show you how to get to it and how to take it off. If you're not gonna use it again, you can literally just chop it off like I did, but do that at your own risk. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just telling you, that's the way I did it because I have no intention of replacing that stock exhaust for any reason. Okay. All right. That being said, so to be able to get into here, which is where the servo will be, you have to go under and put your key under and give it a turn. Boom. That unlocks the middle seat. All right. There we go. Seats off. Now don't mind this. I have a GPS tracker for my bike, but I also have lights in here and stuff. So there's a bunch of extra stuff going on. Anyways, right here, y'all can see this. This is how you get the back pillion seat thing off. So all you do is pull it and then pull up your seat like so. All right. So there we go. This is where your servo box would be. Now, obviously you don't see it in there, but that's because I pulled it off. So, and put some light in here so you can see. So to get the servo box off, there's a screw here, right where my finger is, and then back here, I don't know if y'all can see that, there's like a little hole down there. See that one? That's the other one. There's only 2 screws to get it off. So once you do that, then the servo routes the cables in the fairing. So you can see down there, if you look really close, there's a place where it actually hooks up. See that? And those lines follow all the way down here and go down here, and then they go down to where the stock exhaust would be. So it'd be coming down here. See where this line is? This is for, yeah, it's for one of my lights. But anyways, so if you look really closely, you'll see that there's actually a place where they're kind of like inside of, and it goes down into your stock exhaust. Okay, so now that we got that taken care of, so you take that off. But to be able to take it off, you actually have to take this bottom part off too. There might be a special tool you can use. We'll quickly look at this servo real quick. Try to make this video as fast as possible. But basically, these, see these holes right here? These go inside them. So that goes inside there. It's kind of wrapped around it. And the servo leads come through here, through the side. Anyways. Me personally, I cut this thing off. I cut it all the way the fuck off because I'm not going to use it, so. All right. After you get that off, after you get the servo off, then you can take the stock exhaust off. You can take this part, which weighs like 15 pounds. You can take this big ass mofo off, all right? So, and once you do that, there's only, I think there's only like this screw right here, which would be right here. See that? That's one of the screws on it, and then there's a ring clamp. And the ring clamp is right here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, so this is the only other screw, and it'd be down there, but I took this whole part off too. So we don't want that. It restricts flow and performance, so no point in having it. So this gets taken off, and this is attached to the end right here. So you twist this, and then you just pull it out. And there's only like one bolt here and that. All right, once you get that off, this is a little bit harder because there's about 5 different bolts that have to come off. So real quickly, this is how it'd be sitting in your bike, like this. Well, probably be sitting the other way, to be honest, like this. All right. No, I was right. It'd be sitting the other way. Anyways, regardless, they'll be sitting this way, and there's gonna be 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3 that you have to take off first. It has a shield. I'll show you what the shield looks like real quick. Here it is. Here's the shield, and there's 3 bolts that go onto it, and they're black. All right, take the shield off. Now I'm chunking all this shit because I don't want any of this stock crap. Somebody might want it, but I don't want it. So, basically, this shield covers it, you know, protects it, blah, blah, blah. And it goes like that. And you take it off, take the screws off, and then it pulls right off. Boom. And that gives you access to these 2 bolts, which is what holds this in place, and another one of these ring clamps, all right? So, come over here and show you. Now, if we get under here, see how there's a bolt right there? That's one of them. And there's another one, but I already taken it off. So there's basically 2 bolts that have to come out, and one of them's really long. As a matter of fact, here is the thing that is stuck on. So these 2 will be in here. There'll be one there, and then one going up that way. You take both those off, and one of them's super long, the other one's super short. There you go. That's how you take that off. And then down here, let me get some light here so y'all can see. There's another bolt. This is the ring clamp that was attached to that one, right? This is where your cat is on the bike, if I'm not mistaken. I think it goes all the way through. So there's that. Anyways, so unscrew this, and then you can pull that muffler box off, and that's it. I mean, once you get that off, there is literally 3 bolts that you got to do to be able to put this new exhaust in, all right? So you undo that, and then there's a bracket for the M4 exhaust. You can't see it, but it's really small in the back here. See this? See if we can get some light here so y'all can see it. There's a little bracket down there, and it goes behind. It comes in with the exhaust system. As a matter of fact, there's a picture of it right here. See that bracket? That goes behind where your stock peg is. See your peg? This is your stock peg. You take these 2 bolts off, and that's it. These 2 bolts. And these 2 bolts don't get used again. You're using their bolts. It comes with 2 of their own bolts. So you take these 2 off, you put that new bracket in the back, and then you put their bolt through, and in the back of it, there's actually a nut, and you have to tighten that up. And it's really a bitch back here up on the top one, just so y'all know. All right, so after you get that done, there's only one more bolt, and that's right here. So you slide your new exhaust in, boom, turn it, angle it this way, and then you tighten this. I tighten this down a little bit, just enough where it's not gonna come out, and then I get it over here and get it perfect, and I tighten up this one. There is a nut and a bolt, all right? You get these 2, and then I tighten this one up all the way once this is set. And after that, just make sure there's clearance right here, so it's not touching your swing arm and it's not touching your feet. You know, this thing gets hot. You don't want to cook yourself. And then you put these 2 bolts back in, and that's it. I mean, that's literally it to install this exhaust. So quick overview. We're gonna do this one more time just so y'all know. Take servo out. Servo wires go inside here, all the way down. You may have to take this off. I did. I mean, technically, if I would have just cut it up here instead of cutting it way down here, I could have just left it how it was and just pulled it out, you know, through down here. All right, here is the most important thing. Don't forget this, okay? I didn't mention this when I was telling you what to do. Disconnect your batteries before you do it, all right? Disconnect the battery. Anytime you work on your bike, just disconnect the batteries, all right? And get rid of the positive and the negative. Just unplug it, all right? The servo is going to be plugged into two. Let me see if y'all can see them in here. There's two plugs in here. There's a 2 and a 3. One's like a triangle, and one's like a rectangle. You got to unplug those on the servo. As a matter of fact, here's what they look like. Here's the plugs. All right, so you need to unplug those two. Once you unplug these, then you can pull the servo out. And you're gonna get a code. If you don't use a Servo Buddy, which mine hasn't come in yet, you're gonna get a code over here. You're gonna see like engine light trouble or blah, 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 whatever. You're gonna get an engine light. That's because Kawasaki thinks that there's a fucking servo in here that's not in here anymore because you're not using that exhaust anymore. So, just be forewarned, you're gonna get that if you don't have a Servo Buddy. Now, Servo Buddy is literally just a little like mini computer, whatever you want to call it, that plugs into those two ports that the servo came out of. And basically it pretends to the bike that there's a servo in there and it's working properly. And then that gets rid of that engine light. Other than that, everything else is pretty good. I mean, super easy install, nothing too difficult. The next step for me probably would be to get into the under the gas tank. There's air box. I want to swap the filter out, and also I want to pull the ECU out and ship it off to Florida. There's a guy I want to have tune my bike, to this exact exhaust, and we'll see some real serious gains. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you for now. This is a super simple job. Anybody can do this one. I want to say this, and I'm going to say this in every single video that I do anything to my bike. I am not a mechanic. I am learning this as I go. Now, you can follow these steps and it'll probably go well for you, but I am not responsible for anything that happens to your bike, all right? It's your bike. You take ownership and responsibility of what you do to it, regardless of what you're looking at. All right? Well, I'll see y'all in the next one.